The Naperville Park District model. I have a special friend with me today. I know. Super cute, right? He's super cute. He's going to have to double as a beaver because he's a platypus. No reaction? That's pretty good. We're not being reactionary. We are being revelationary. The revelation that we're embarking upon is, to me, the most straightforward thing, but it is worth mapping out. The revelation is answering the question, which is, why are you so strange? Because to me, I don't think I'm strange at all. I don't know why people get stuck. Well, I do know why people get stuck. And when I help people get unstuck, they still revert to some really good excuse. I've been able to deal with every objection in the history of coming up with creative ways to self-sabotage yourself. I've come up with every answer, every countermeasure to your self hurt, your self immolation, which is lighting your shit on fire and not your poop on fire. That's lighting a bag of shit on fire. No, I'm talking about lighting yourself afire. The Naperville Park District model, that's what makes me wire differently. Because when I go to a new environment, Silicon Valley used to be new before I became the third institution of it, I decided to just institute the Naperville Park District model. Even when I made kind of a lot of money, I just stuck to the Naperville Park District model. And the more people would say, "Oh my God, you're so awesome. Why are you so awesome?" And I'd be like, the Naperville Park District model. What is the Naperville Park District model? What is the Naperville Park District model? What it is not just saying, "Hey, can I be the boss of the Naperville Park District?" Which is why come back better after your timeout. You see, I started off at the actually at the very, very bottom of the Naperville Park District model. This is what the Park District does. Maybe you're not familiar with it because you live in a shithole. So, when you don't live in a shithole, it's middle class. So, you enroll your kid. I was the kid. I got enrolled. There's all sorts of stuff to do, from, is your kid retarded and he can't read? Well, put your kid in retarded reading school. Does your kid want to learn how to sailboat? We didn't even have a lake. It was like a retention pond. I never took that class, but I'm sure it was great. Naperville Park District model. They had all the different sports, and you could do pretty much whatever you wanted to do. The cost of it, $50. Basically $0. The reason the price was so low was because it was subsidized. But it wasn't so low that people would just not go, because that'd be bad. That'd be kind of like you never going to the library, or you going, "Hey, can I be a moderator? Mod me. Can I mod Trick Shotter 67, please?" Which is Naperville Park District. Can I please not even understand what is going on? I want to be the boss. I had no idea what was going on in Silicon Valley. I still don't know what's going on in Silicon Valley. As the third institution of Silicon Valley, it's servant leadership. So, Naperville Park District. I'm a kid. And I go from kid who is not that great to the best person in the country. But I had to come up with an excuse of how I became kind of worst to first. And I thought about it and I was like, it must have been because of the Naperville Park District. You see, what the Park District does is it makes you it makes you learn stuff. But what happens is you don't just learn stuff. You can later teach the stuff that you learned. When you teach, you get paid a shit ton of money per hour, like 10, 11, $20 per hour. So you get paid kind of a lot. I only had to pay not even $50. So I didn't even have to work a half a day and I got 8 weeks of tuition. I'm like, this is amazing. Once my brain wired at a young age to go from student to teacher, I wanted to do it again. Because look at what happened from Trick Shotter 67. Right out of the gate, can I moderate? And this is how everyone else in the world is wired is I want to go be the boss or I want to skip the Naperville Park District model. You see, I'm not weird for wanting to be at the bottom of the ladder. I'm not weird for wanting to be at the front lines of life. I'm not weird for wanting to be at sea level, understanding $0. Naperville Park District. So I went from student to teacher, and this is the Naperville Park District model. You are the success story. You're the one getting recruited to every college because you're really good at a particular sport. So you're a success story as a mid-level coach because I didn't run the Naperville Park District. I was a coach. I was an assistant coach. As an assistant coach, you get a ton of responsibility for being a kid. So I'm 14, 15, maybe 16, having to manage kids that are 8, 9, 10. You have to manage 15, 10, 11, 12-year-olds for almost 2 hours. And remember, there are weapons. I mean, a baseball bat. It's not exactly safe. Yeah. So when you get that responsibility, you get to see who's going to take to coaching and who's going to come in immediately and ask, "Yo, can I be the moderator? Yo, can I be a boss?" And you're like, okay, sure. No. So you're managing little kids, coaching them up for a sport, 10, 11, 12. 10, 11, 12. When you're that age, you can get 40% better in a week. Oh, me at the highest echelon of football, basketball, baseball, I can work 90 hours a year and get 1% better. And that's hilarious because it's 90 hours a week. And then maybe get 60 basis points better, which is 0.6 of 1%. 60 basis points. That means 100 basis points equals 1%. So if we're talking improvement of student athletes that are under 20 years old, we're talking about 4,000 basis points in a week. That's why me throwing a baseball 150 miles an hour, that's actually very possible. That's actually very possible because before this video ends, I might I might drop a quick prayer. So when you watch other people that you mentor become 15, 20% better, 50% better in a certain given time period, you start to put the burden on yourself to then say this counterintuitive truth, which is, am I listening to my baseball coach, my basketball coach, or my football coach well enough? What can I do to better be a student? Because that is the Naperville Park District model, is you are intrinsically there. You're kind of overpaid. You're kind of one of those celebrity athletes who gets a comfortable job. So now you could either be lazy as fuck and a douchebag, or you can be like, whoa, I'm kind of getting paid a ton and I'm responsible for kids. Maybe I can make them better. That's the Naperville Park District model. So then the kids get better and you kind of get jealous. You're like, wow, I'm a really good baseball coach and you are getting really better, because they're not that much younger than me. And now I'm thinking maybe I need to get better by listening better at the next time I have an opportunity. So, what the Naperville Park District model does is it wires your brain where there are not infinite positivity loops, but definitely 4 or 3 or 7 positivity loops. One of the loops is when I'm intrinsically in the moment, kind of like with here on my YouTube lives. You can see the effort that I put in. That effort yields results 20, 30, in your case, 80% or -2%, right? That positive loop then begs the question, what can I do not to be a better mentor? Because already the third institution of Silicon Valley, if we're honest, the first institution of Silicon Valley. But what can I do to be a better mentee? Because at the highest echelons, the Tom Brady, the Kobe Bryant, the Anthony Brown, two shot one, AB baby. We need to start not calling our friends their nicknames. We need to just say the whole name. I had a hard time with Anthony Brown. Like, I just had slang nickname. Oh my God. Is that why nobody calls me the big fucking Chinaman? BFC? Oh my God. Oh my God. One, I wish people called me that. And two, you know that sports became incredibly politically correct, because in no time have I ever been called Larry Chang more than at football, basketball, baseball. Never. Never. In fact, sometimes my baseball friends will call me Larry and I won't even turn. I'll be like, "Oh, are you talking to me?" Real names versus call sign, shooter, Naperville Park District, where where the model is you come, you grow, you go. That's my YouTube. I don't want you to just permanently be stuck at the Naperville Park District camp. I want you to go to I want you to come to camp 2 years, maybe teach 1 year, and then I want you to go to your safety shitty school that I would never be caught dead at, Dartmouth Princeton. Okay, I would go to Dartmouth only because it's got Abner Doubleday Field. But does New Jersey, isn't that burned to the ground right now? That's why I am University of Illinois. Stanford, good job in continuing to recruit me, even though the portal had a penalty. The portal had a penalty. Is that a tongue twister? It is not. Larry, you look younger without a cowboy hat on. You look younger without a hat on. That's why I wear a hat, so that way less vagina gets tossed my way. I feel the vagina pressure. I feel the pressure. I feel the pressure. Let's be incognito. Let's cognito and incognito. My son's a star wrestler and competitor, 6 years old with 8 golds, 12 wrestling golds. Here's a question. 1. Ooh, thank you. 1. Does your son price participate? Oh my God. 2. Does your son get paid to be a teacher? The reason that's so genius is I had to price participate myself into the Naperville Park District model, meaning it wasn't just, oh, you want to go to Yale, Harvard, Stanford? It's going to be 200 grand a year. I'll pay. Because something happens when there's a cooperation. I wanted to say copay. A copay is an insurance scam. Co-funding, co-scholarshiping, self-funding. That's the Naperville Park District model because it's so cheap, yeah. But you got to make your kid pay because I paid and look what happened to me. All the things I had to pay for, I became the best on. Violin, I had to pay 0. You know what? I hate that my parents made a mistake. They didn't make a mistake. They wanted me to play violin. I had to pay 0. If they would have made me pay 50%, I probably would be slinging it in the Philadelphia Philharmonic Orchestra with all the Palestinian and Jew protesters constantly. And then I'd be like, oh my God, I'm playing violin for a Holocaust, for a genocide. And then I'd be conflicted. Whereas in football, I mean, who's taking a knee for whom? Right? He's got 2 sponsorships. He's on the right path. He loves competing. No. I'm saying, what has he invested? What has he invested? What has he invested? Not what is he making? See, the Naperville Park District model I experienced later when I had to pay for my own education. Did I tell you I was a good athlete with a good brain? So I'm at school and they pull my full ride. They pull my scholarship. But before they did that, I saw old people come to engineering school and I watched them do really, really well. I'm like, how are you smart? Like college, high school for you was 20 years ago. You're old and you don't look smart to me. Why are you winning at engineering school? And then the guy's like, well, I kind of value it more and I got to pay for this. I'm like, wait a minute. Is that why Tom and Carol made me pay for some of the education that I did? Oh, wait. The stuff that I paid for, I'm dominating it on. So that's the question I'm asking is, where have you charged your child? Oh, we're going to get you an additional swing tutor, a baseball, golf swing coach. It's going to cost $3,000. Don't worry, son. We'll just pay for it. Or, holy crap, it's $3,000. That's going to take dad 6 minutes to make. 16 minutes, 14 minutes, just under 15 minutes, just under 10 minutes, depending on. Are you going to pay for part of it? That's the Naperville Park District model in my mind, because when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. when the student gets thrown into a class, the student doesn't give a fuck. Maybe he gives 4/5 a fuck. Maybe he gives over half a fuck, and then you're like, oh, he's pretty good. I need you to have both ass cheeks in, studying and following up. How do I shoot a better fucking jumper? Because I'm only 6'5". I'm only 6'5". I got to do super well. I got to do super well with technique, with court vision. Yeah, I'm skinny. I'm not even 230 pounds yet. And now I got to go in competition. What are the intangibles? What are the, I mean, can you hit an open jumper? Can you hit an open jumper? Given 500 attempts to hit an open three-pointer from NBA land, can you shoot 90%? That's hip and shoulder timing. Hey, currently I'm shooting 75% against a person who's a foot shorter than me. What's going to happen when I get older and the other kids catch up in height? Turns out no one ever caught up to me in height, but still mentally. Do you keep a notebook for ways to get shot separation as I'm moving to my right? Ways to offhand go to guns moving to my left, which in counterintuitively, it's easier. So what would I do to defend myself? Offense, defense. Not that I played any defense, because fuck defense, it's gay. It's real. It's real gay defense. The Naperville Partridge model, which is remembering who taught you what. Because you're not just blanket check saying, oh, any old person who tells me shit is locked into the old person filofax of shit that I got yelled at for doing. That's how most people on YouTube Live are right now, which is thoughts coming from outside of my brain. That's YouTube. Thoughts that I have that I'm stubborn about, that's internal. That's not the way to do it. This is how I learned to do it, as if I'm a 40-year-old. I was not even 12, which was, some people are fucking retarded. They're just in a position of power to coach baseball. Other people are kind of quiet, but every time I listen to them, I get 20% better. And I get free education because you can get extra credit. Free education, which is, hey, Bill Seipel, it's me, Larry Chang. The fuck? Did you just call me by my first name? Whatever, Mr. Seipel, Bill. Call me Bill, whatever. What do you fucking want? Hey, do you remember when you said beef, balance, eye contact, elbow follow through for control? Well, shucks, I set the Little League record for Pony League record for whatever league it was called that was not varsity. Some like shit league where everyone's 2 feet shorter than me. I set a strikeout record because of beef, balance, elbow, eye contact, follow through. You taught me that last year. Who the fuck are you again? Larry Chang. Do you want to go to Stanford? Because the Stanford coach is calling me to say, do you have a person that throws super hard and can stay academically eligible, who's not a retard? The Naperville Park District. It's so easy. It's so easy. That's why I always say it's so easy. That's why I don't get why people say, oh, why are you helping people? And that's why I'm not joking. when I say this stupid video is probably going to make me exorbitant amounts of money, because people will be like, "Oh, that's Silicon Valley." Like, what did you think it was? This is what Silicon Valley is. You meet some person, they're lonely as fuck, okay? Fucking lonely, because they got one person in their life, their wife. And their wife, okay, kind of treats them actually pretty good. That's why they're still married. They don't have staff. They got a dog. That's it. They got a couple of lunch dates, and you know, they're eating froyo for 3 hours. Okay, exaggerate. 2 hours. Steve Jobs. Completely accessible, completely at the front lines. You can buy him for an $80 fucking gift card to Fraiche. So, the stories are true. I did bribe a kid to get me Steve Jobs' phone number. I bribed him. Bribed like, hey, do you really have Steve Jobs' phone number? Yeah, 408-89X XXXX. Steve Jobs' phone number is actually still on, by the way. Cool, Spencer. How about I give you $111 if you give me his phone number? He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'll give you $111 and I'll give Steve Jobs $111 and I'll park it at my favorite yogurt shop, which is his favorite yogurt shop, Fraiche, Fraiche. Patama, Patty, and Jessica run it. Remember, we're talking about the Naperville Park District model. Bill Seipel, by the way, he's the official scorekeeper for the Chicago Cubs, which is why when Nico Horner gets a hit, I'm like, and then it glances off someone's glove, I just lean back at home plate. I'm like, Seipel, fucking mark that a fucking single. Because I'm still in the Naperville Park District model. Silicon Valley. Steve Blank. Bit.ly S blank 710. It's really helpful when you're the only person winning a game that you're playing, because Silicon Valley is trying to play the immigrant game or the immigration game or the caste system game. I'm not playing some stupid shit game for shittards, because I am actually retarded. I am actually retarded. I'm going to need to make you play a game that you've never played before. That game is called the Naperville fucking Park District. Plot spoiler, I go away to college, not to West Point, not to Dartmouth, not to any of the great schools that were calling me, not to Stanford. I decide to take the safe route and go to the University of Illinois. Freshman year, I am fucked. I'm like, I'm failing out of this shithole. I don't know if Stanford's gonna enjoy my GPA, because I thought that GPAs at shitty schools would be lower. I didn't know that good schools gave you just automatically a high GPA just for coming. But you live and you learn. So I go to the University of Illinois and I have to stay in the summer because I'm getting ready to fail out. To mitigate my likelihood of failing out, I decide to take a fail out class, which is why Silicon Valley is run by people from the University of Illinois, because everybody in Northern California, super soft, softer than LA, if that's even possible. It's not possible. All Silicon Valley is Hollywood for people with a perfect SAT. Yeah, Yeah. So I'm at University of Illinois. I got to stay and I got to get a job in addition to selling advertising for the Daily Illini because remember, or maybe you don't remember, during school, officer of fraternity, played in a sport, engineering school, started a business. Like it's unreal the schedule I had. So in summer school, we're still talking about the Naperville Park District. So in summer school, my parents loved enrolling me in summer school. I think it's because I had too much testosterone. So I enrolled in two classes only, physics and some other class, maybe econ, maybe some other class that was business. I also applied to work at the Urbana Park District. Champaign Urbana had one park district. And Cheryl Krebs, she was like, "Oh, you want to teach tennis? The fuck? Like, you're not on the tennis team." I'm like, "I'm really, 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 really good at tennis, but I'm also really, really retarded. So I have a lot of patience to teach people tennis." She's like, "How retarded could you be? You're at the University of Illinois." I'm like, okay. But she's like, every other tennis instructor has been on the tennis team. I'm like, well, we'll hire them then. And then she's like, well, sometimes it doesn't work out. I'm like, let me guess. Let me guess. The person who is on the tennis team wants to go pro and has zero patience with with beginners and intermediate. She's like, yes. I'm like, oh my God, this Naperville Park District model, it should be illegal. If we were to tax the Naperville Park District model, the United States would be out of debt by 9 p.m. But that's a different story that's not pansexual and not neurodivergent because that's why there is that debt, is because it's fake and gay and it's really gay because it's fake. The debt's fake. I mean, the debt's real, but the reason we're in the debt, it's fake and gay. Cheryl Krebs goes, "Oh my God, you should be a tennis instructor. Enjoy teaching tennis." She goes, "Hey, uh, I looked you up. Are you on the baseball team?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, do you wanna do you wanna have a job at the Urbana Park District for baseball?" I'm like, "Sure." She goes, yeah, cool. I'm like, "What job is it?" "It's for baseball director." So I am the baseball director and the tennis coach for Urbana Park District. I've never worked at Urbana Park District. The people that I meet being the baseball director and tennis, I meet everybody. And everyone's like, how are you a two sport athlete in a sport that you're not even in? I'm like, I'm actually really, really, really good at tennis. I'm just kind of screwed if you return the ball. I'm screwed because I expect to just win every point that I'm serving. And then I stand right behind the service box when I'm returning serve because that's baseball. It's a short hop. And it's an easy short hop because you've got a monster racket, whereas in baseball, you only have an 11.5-inch glove, which in hindsight was stupid because this is a 8.5-inch glove. So why would you use a small glove? It didn't make any sense. Don't ask. But in case you're asking, small people should have small gloves. Big people should be able to use an outfielder's glove at shortstop. Maybe this is why Augie Garrido didn't love some of my thoughts because I did not conform. But then Augie Garrido didn't conform. Augie Garrido. That's why I aced Augie Garrido because of the Naperville Park District model. You see, sometimes a baseball coach would come to camp and drop F bombs. And we were kids and we're like, did you just say the F word? Well, I love that. So sometimes the F bombs would just be a joke. And this is where it gets Caucasian complicated because this is the Naperville Park District model. Is I'm not angry when I'm dropping fuck bombs. I'm having a good time being pretend angry because you can't lose during baseball camp because it's just practice. It's practice in school. It's just school and practice. They called baseball classroom for baseball. Like there are no winners and losers, except some people get better and other people don't. So once in a while, we'll say Bill would drop F bombs. And it's where he'd yell at the most talented kid. That would be me. I was the most talented kid. So he'd yell at me, and then I'd laugh because I knew what he was doing. Because when I did that, it would scare people. And that's what I did because I was in the Naperville Park District model. What is yelling at a kid? You see, you yell at the best kid who's the most talented. Because when that kid gets yelled at and he gets better, everybody else gets better. Do you see why before I met Tom Brady, I bonded with the exact same guy named Tom Grady with a G, who is at the Naperville Park District model. So when I met Tom Brady, I'm like, this guy's exactly Tom Grady, like to a T. This is also what Caucasian dudes do too, is they will just say, oh, you're just a version of blah, blah, blah. You're just a version of blah, blah, blah. This is no product. I know. This is where it's, I don't know. Everything about me is perfect. I have a little bit of acne on my ass when I was 16, 16 years old. Not that my mom saw my ass on a regular basis, but one time she maybe saw it and she goes, this is my mom, my stepmom. My father remarried after 1 year. One time randomly, my stepmom saw my butt and she's like, oh my God, the only thing wrong with you is you've got a little skin splotch on your butt. Everything else is perfect. What the fuck? I'm like, okay. But yeah, they're my also because I don't use skin product. What does that have to do with the Naperville Park District model? It actually has a lot because people are always trying to get me to use skin product because they want me to use their skin product because they're using skin product. So I'm not going to put skin product on the moneymaker, right? I'm not going to put skin product on my moneymaker, right? I'm going to put skin product first on my ass skin because my ass skin is like the Naperville Park District model where you don't know if a new methodology is going to be the best. For example, double fucking fungo. That sounds like a good time. This is what it is. It's 5 baseballs simultaneously flying around the infield in a concerted, orchestrated way. Imagine trying to get 11-year-olds. We have a hard time as 11 tracking 1 baseball. Now imagine tracking 5 balls because it's double fucking fungo. That sounds experimental. This is why when Augie Garrido yelled at me, I would snicker and laugh because I'm like, ha 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 ha. And then the third time I laughed, he's like, Chang, What is so fucking funny? What is so fucking funny? This is also the Naperville Park District model, which is I'm always ready for questions. I'm baiting you. I'm baiting you because I'm ready because this is my 13 millionth iteration of the Naperville Park District model. So Augie Garrido, he's a baseball coach. You may not know who he is because you're not heterosexual. That's okay. That's actually not okay. It's actually okay. I'm torn. I'm torn. Just don't be fake and gay. You're gay and you're fake. Look at your username. Augie Garrido. Augie like August, Garrido like Larry Chang. So he's like, Chang, some F bomb, and then emotion. And that would mean that I would have to pay attention. This other time, he was just dropping a random F bomb. Rando, but not rando. You know how baseball practice is. Some people don't lock in. I was probably not locked in because I don't know if you've ever been to University of Illinois. Sometimes the weather's kind of shitty. And I'm not going to do what I do now, which is if it's 35 degrees, I'll be like, wow. Wondering when it's going to cool down. I am sweating balls, which is why Tom Brady is a fucking freak who goes from California to Michigan and then thinks it's hot in the winter. Augie Garrido, Naperville Park District model. Oh, yeah, it's easy. It's just like Two Girls, One Book. Easy. Easy. Yeah. So just be less retarded. Just be less retarded. Thank you. Yeah, just come back better. Just come back better. A quick 24-minute timeout or 24 hours, whatever you pick. Augie Garrido dropping an F-bomb in the general direction of the team. I laugh because he's right. So he sees me laughing and he's not actually pissed. He's a happy kind of pissed off, kind of like Tom Brady, Larry Chang. You've seen me where I'm a happy kind of pissed off. Maybe you don't understand it. This is a happy kind of pissed off. Chang, what do you think is so fucking funny? You, coach, you're funny. What are you talking about? And his character starting to drop a little bit. I'm like, well, what I'm talking about is you care more about our trajectory and our attention to detail more than we do. And that's not good. That's not good at all. That's why I was laughing. And he's like, well, aren't you special? And then he immediately stops yelling. And everyone's like, was that staged? Was that a setup? That is the Naperville Park District model where can you succeed when no one else is watching? Will you only succeed if I'm over your shoulder? Do I want you to succeed more than you want you to succeed? Because we're headed to hell, okay? Grab your sunblock. We're headed to hell. You're not going to need your jockstrap or your cup because it's nuclear winter. Will you get slightly better? Put down your bong. Put down your drugs. Put down the porn and let's strap in. And if you're a woman, stop with sending bathroom selfies hoping for a vagina Hail Mary because you're not going to stick the landing even if I stick it in you 14 times because you don't have $275,000 to buy sperm from me. This is the Naperville Park District model, which is leading to within not even a mile, not even a quarter mile, basically across the street. That would be the fucking motherfucking library and church. But let's just focus on the library for now. You see, when I aced the Naperville Park District model, I made up the library model because when I was in the library, I thought, how can I make the library into the Naperville Park District model? You see, getting paid almost 20 bucks an hour as a kid, like it feels like it's money that's off the books because I told my dad he wasn't going to keep half of it because fuck you. I spent I spent money to learn this. Like that doesn't make any sense that you're going to keep 80% of it. So when my family gave me when my aunts and uncles and even cousins, my cousins would just give me a couple $100 for Christmas. My dad would say, "How much money did you get?" I'd be like, 2, 3 grand. He's like, "Cool. Deposit 85% of it in the bank." I'm like, "No. I mean, Christmas, yes. But when I was making Park District money, no. You made me pay for it. This is money that I made myself after I paid for it. So unless you're going to refund me on my price participatory tuition, let's fucking go." You see, Scott Adams, he just died. But the thing that he did that was genius was also the genius thing that Tom Chang did, which is he's open to be reasoned with and he's open to somebody saying fuck you to. Now, you can't just tell me randomly to fuck you. That's the Naperville Park District model. Is if you're telling someone fuck you or if you're telling someone they're retarded, you better have a path for them to make 400 grand, which is really what going to college is at Stanford, Dartmouth, West Point, University of Illinois, or some shitty school like Harvard, Dartmouth. That is 400 grand. Are you going to take it seriously? Are you going to come up with any money out of your pocket? Or is someone just going to give you a full ride, full ride, full ride? Because that's not the Naperville Park District model. That's why I run the Naperville Park District model. Because when an athlete is having a meltdown, I'll ask, I appreciate your meltdown, you selfish cunt. Maybe I don't say cunt. I do. Can you tell me what you've paid? I deserve, I deserve, I deserve. Does that sound like some YouTube lives that we're in? Does that sound like some YouTube lives that we're in, which is I. Oh, but I. Oh, but I. And it's just the person who they've been sucking, they should suck, and now they're upset that they currently suck. And the Naperville Park District model is helping you come to your own conclusion, which is, hey, why do you fucking suck? Because this is my true encapsulation of the Naperville Park District model. Is even though I was pretty mature for a kid, I wasn't quite at Larry Chang, Tom Brady levels of maturity because I did a fake quit thing. And then the guy behind me, who was also from Naperville, behind me at shortstop, behind me in the depth chart for pitcher, David C. Jones. We had 2 David Jones on the team, David R. Jones and David C. Jones. They're both pretty good at baseball. I mean, not good as Larry Chang, but pretty good at baseball. David C. Jones went to Omaha 3 years. I went 0 years. University of Illinois. You see, the Naperville Park District model, it has consequences when you are the dumbest person on the fucking planet. It has ramifications, but here's the good news is I decided that I wanted to do a turnaround. Deeply understanding credit knowledge, deeply understanding capital knowledge, deeply understanding venture capital knowledge, yawn, deeply understanding Chinese knowledge, doing turnarounds. I did a turnaround. I did a turnaround, Project Larry Chang. Within under 12 calendar months of me separating from Augie Garrido, I committed that the next 80-year-old who sounded like he was joking, I would take seriously. Because I'm the guy who saw Augie Garrido wear a two-tone Rolex. I already knew where it came from. Kids don't know where a Rolex is. You fuckers don't even know what a Rolex is. I saw his Rolex and I thought to myself, this is a guy who got a free Rolex because one of his students bought it for him. Do you know why I knew that? Because of the Naperville Park District model. This message is held for review. You want me to block you? 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 I have the utmost trust that you'll turn your neurodivergent brain around and collect together 130 of your IQ points and go in a positive direction. I have utmost confidence in your ability in your 13th username. The Naperville Park District model. We get one name at the Naperville Park District, whereas you're hoping for X number of resets. Because what you're hoping for is when you get to hell, because you're currently the king of hell, is for another reset, but then you're going to realize that's why you oscillate to a lower energy. But there's only forgiveness in this circle. That's the Naperville Park District model, is that the non-retarded people get 1 or 2% better. The retarded people, they also get 1 or 2% better. But the people who are cunts, they get 10% worse. Why are you also obese? There you go. See, you're telling me that you eat microwave food. The Naperville Park District model. The Naperville Park District model. Best video ever, thanks to you. Best video ever. What questions do you guys have? Thank you for telling me about your homosexuality. Emily Palmer, how are you? We are also doing the Naperville Park District model, which is this. There are two people that you mentioned that helped you. So, Naperville Park District model. The idea is to take their content and tell them as if we're in the Naperville Park District model. This is what you said. This is what I did. Thank you. Ditto the two people that you mentioned during the Q&A. So it's this is what you did a video about. This is the adjustment. This is how we financially got better or just better. You see, the Naperville Park District model is where we have gratitude and thankfulness, and then we reset. Because thank you for being semi-apologetic of you not thinking that you did well during that video. I think that video was great. But what that video is instead of academically saying, oh, I want to do a restart, oh, I want to do a redo, instead of that, we use that as a genuine, this is what we're at. That's also the Naperville Park District model, where we're not trying to jump cut, cunt cut, fast cut, recut, and overly edit. That's why I run lives. It's not because I can't afford an editor that's in some third world country to do a bunch of jump cuts. I'm software proficient. I went to USC during retirement number 3, 1, or 5, depending on how you do accounting for when did you retire. Because when I retired, I went to USC for film school. That's what all rich people do, is when they're young and under 30, they go to film school, right? Because they want to be in Hollywood, star in a Hollywood movie. Look at how hot I am. Instead of doing hyper edits, what I thought about doing was being hyper real. And what more real can you be than running the Naperville Park District model? Those two influencers that have videos on YouTube. You don't have to participate. I'm going to do it because I'm artsy, I'm craftsy. I got a cowboy hat. I can do something. Nice. Happy that you're back in business. So, Naperville Park District with friends Emily Palmer with doing the Naperville Park District, where you mentioned 2 people. I took notes, I wrote them down. That's also the Naperville Park District model. Where you don't just treat all adult advice as water off my back, water off a duck's back. No. We're going to remember which adult told us what thing to do. Then we're going to get better. And then we're going to tell the adult what specifically we did. Wow, this book ends quite nicely. I look forward to you participating with my model inside a game, inside another game, inside my mental model. My mental model gives me an unfair advantage. This is why I'm this enthused about doing a video where fewer than 17 million views. Fewer than 400,000 views? Whatever. That's why I treat it as if this is getting 18 million views. I'm not trying to manifest it forward. I'm saying the value of this video is valuable to you. Therefore, I'm going to try to do my best. Regardless of audience size. And there you go. That's the Naperville Park District model, where you have thoughts about your micro penis. You have thoughts about your micro penis. You're thinking about getting a micro circumcision for your micro penis, whereas it's time for a prayer. Father Lord, do you like how I bring up Huggy Garrido? I'm hilarious. Come on. Plus, nobody wants to hear about the Larry Chang youth group, youth Bible study pastor model, right? Plus, then my Catholic friends are going to say, pedo. And then people will say, like, do you know Tom Brady kisses kids on the lips? Do you not have any fucking Catholic friends? That's what they do. University of Illinois, Eddie Johnson and his dad. We'd be like, why is this Marine snuggling with his dad in the middle of the living room? Like, that's just surprising. They're Catholic. Father Lord, thank you for the Naperville Park District model because it's like church. It's like church because it's like youth group, where you say, is every park district like this? You can even bring the Naperville Park District. You can play Naperville Park District even when other people don't want to play it, or are currently getting graped in India, Pakistan, Israel, Beirut at camp, at Hebrew camp, right? Because when you're studying the Torah, there's nothing more normal than to be assaulted by your teacher. I know, I know, I know. Father Lord, thank you for the Naperville Park District and its positive models for mentorship, with people that have a dad being mentored by men and women, where because our father stuck around, the Naperville Park District works, where I never really understood why people with no dad couldn't have a mentor. So thank you for Caleb Williams connecting with his head coach at the Naperville Park District model. I know, I know, I know. Just genius stuff everywhere. With Ben Johnson. I'm not even a Bears fan because Bears suck. But it's good that this year the Bears get to win a Super Bowl in some other month that's not September. Father Lord, thank you for the mentors that we've come across. Thank you, Lord, for even mentors that were kind of cunts. Mr. Blaha, Mr. West, because I'm thankful they're just angry that I was super smart, and they're just angry that I was super good looking. But maybe they're trying to just be extra flavored because they thought that just being able to catch stray bullets because they were kind of cunts. But I'm thankful because there are other teachers like Stephen Zumdahl, University of Illinois, and Dan Metz and Professor Wolf in physics. I mean, yeah, he could have expelled me, but yeah. Instead gave me a monopoly to sell notes. Oh, the Naperville Park District model strikes again. Also, I guess Duck 9 is the Naperville Park District model too. Oh my God. Am I a one-trick pony, Lord? Doesn't matter. Oh my God, I am a one-trick pony. Maybe I should go get my pony. Lord, thank you for having enough money to steward where I own my own pony. Thank you. Thank you for putting Tom Brady on a payments program, both making money and spending money. He's almost paid off. Maybe I should make Tom Brady owe money. Father Lord, thank you. I'm having a good time. How are you doing? You stressed? Don't be. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I'm going to go get my pony. If anyone asks, is Larry Chang really rich? If anyone asks, is Larry Chang really going to build a building called the Mark Marquez Center for Students and Athletes? Just know that I have enough money for Horsey. Look at this. Look at this. You know anyone else who's got a horse indoors? Look at how well trained he is. Hey, Ron, are you praying with us? That's pretty amazing. Oh, the Naperville Park District model? That's also your videos. I think the restaurant gave us food poisoning because I never have gas. I have farted 5 times in the last 3 days, and I've burped maybe twice. I have not farted 5 times in a year. It's only January 15th. I think I got food poisoning. No, it's not excuse you. No, it's just my body. Were you not in the chronic illness thing? See, this is the Naperville Park District. You're chiming in to give me advice on manners or burping. That's me checking in on my body. You're also giving advice to a yoga teacher inside my video called the Naperville Park District. Tell me 2 things that you learned about the Naperville Park District model, because I can guarantee you wouldn't be saying manners if you just laid out a plan to make $300,000 per month. Look at how nobody said thank you. Look at how nobody said thank you. Excuse you, Larry, did you visit the doctor? Manners begets men. Fucking retards. Retard. You like the Naperville Park District model? Hey, when the under 15-year-old is acting like a retard, you drop a fuck bomb and then they do a turnaround. Remember, Stanford, that's my floor. The Stanford shit everywhere, okay? That's not because I'm a fan of Stanford. That's not because I'm pretending to go to Stanford. That's my motherfucking fucking safety school. Safety school. That means if all goes to hell, that's my safety school. Whereas nobody said fucking thank you. Did you like my Augie Garrido just there? I know. I'm not even angry. I'm not even a caricature. I'm muscling up the energy to talk to you in a way that you finally fucking understand. The video is resonating with me so much. Blah, blah, blah. You know what you are? You're a hollerback girl. You're like, yay, you for cheering me on while you don't do crap all. I don't even believe the ASU stuff. Why won't you make $3? I walked you through making $15 and you're somehow not saying thank you. This is now you understand the Reddit shit's true. Is you should be at least $6,000. So why don't you? Yeah, you too, Rayan. You're catching a dollop there. Hi from Oregon. Welcome, new people. Welcome, new people. This is not toxic masculinity. This is Naperville Park District model accountability. You see, when we came up with the word toxic, we are chemically castrating women and men. What is castration? What is autophagy, or not autophagy? What's it called where you cut off your ovaries? Autophagy. It's just chemical castration for women. When the word toxic combines with mansplaining, what it is I'm going to just say what it is. It's a certain ethnicity trying to cause dissension, getting the men to fight the women, getting the Republicans to fight the Dems. Meanwhile, get ready for 90,000 people dying per month in a war for a central bank where all the rulers are best friends, where everyone on the battlefield killing strangers for rulers that are best friends. Welcome, new people. Random King. Tell me how a man should have a pride of steel. It might break, but the meltdown creates the new weapon type of shit. Oh yeah, thanks. Thanks. I mean, you're welcome. Fuck. I get my I get my thank yous and my welcomes mixed up. No, I'm happy. I'm happy that the video is resonating with you because it is the Naperville Park District model, and I'm doing this video so that way you understand. I did not want to be the third institution of Silicon Valley, technically the number one institution of Silicon Valley, because why don't other people do the Naperville Park District model? And then as soon as people are like, well, why are you so strange? Why are you so exotic? Why are you so awesome? Naperville Park District model, Naperville Park District model, Naperville Park District model. Oh, but like, well, why do you do the Naperville Park District model? Because I have a mentor, I have a dad. I have a mentee who can be my mentor. Is this tracking? Because I used to mentor Tom Brady and now he mentors me. This is called Slingshot Engage. Slingshot Engage is from Ricky Bobby, where he sells to Cal Naughton Jr. Hey, we're running Slingshot Engage. And Cal Naughton's like, yeah. I'm going to slingshot you ahead, and then you're going to win the race. This is why I can tell, because I run the Naperville Park District model, I can tell when I'm meeting a person who is a mentor virgin, because I will literally be standing there. There is a line of vagina. That would be females that have a pussy waiting to fuck me. And then the beta males are like, oh, he's a virgin. What? Just because I only let her blow me and I'll put this pinky in her vagina for the first 72 dates or 7.2 dates, depending on her Mrs. Chang status. Let's say she's really good at blowing me and she blows me for a long time and then she begs, come on, please, let's go all the way. Let's go all the way. Please, let's go all the way. Then I bring out the big finger. I bring out the big finger. 10 years into it, I'm going to perform cunnilingus. That's the Church of Naperville model. I feel bad for making fun of him now. Oh, look, good job deleting your own messages. Too bad I screenshot them. Too bad I screenshot them. Screenshot busted. Screenshot busted. 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 At least you deleted your own messages. This guy definitely has a mental health issue. Thank you for chiming in from your third world armpit. Is it Indonesia? It's okay. It's somewhere in Asia. Page 127, page 132. Do you see what the Naperville Park District model does? Is when people say hurtful things, I forget what you said, but I said 2 page numbers. That's how short a memory I have for your negativity. You see, sometimes I pretend to get angry because then people really enjoy that level of angst. Post pin neg. Oh, wait, I already pinned it. You see? I read it. I pinned it. I pinned it. I pinned it and I even forgot, which is post pin neg, which is also page 127, page 132, beta male. Okay, so the Naperville Park District model. It's about coaching and slingshot engage, where your mentor slingshots you ahead. Because honestly, if you don't make $300,000 before 2026 ends, you're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot, because I've walked you through 3 to 10 options on how to make $800 by standing next to rich people. The Naperville partnership model. I can stand you next to rich people, but I can't give you all of their money because that's communism. But what I can do is offer them some entertainment, because they're going to watch what you're doing. And when they watch what you're doing, they're going to know what you're doing. It's because every rich person ran an external API. They had a mentor. When rich people are trying to figure out how rich I am, this is what rich people will say. They'll say, hey, you seem pretty successful and super smart. Did anyone help you along the way? You ask me if I'm rich? Because this is also the Naperville partnership model, which is during an interview, which is why I got to go to NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball games for free. This is why. You're fucking welcome. You see, when you're interviewing an athlete, he's the best athlete that he's ever met, because he's a great athlete. And if he keeps on this trajectory, he's going to be the best athlete. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. They're going to get paid a lot of money. And some people, after they win the lottery, they commit suicide. Not like they eat a Chick-fil-A and they eat junk food, chronic suicide, or they can't shit on the road the way that I drop a turd in hot girl toilet with French plumbing. Do you know how hard it is to say that phrase with your arms up? Because my heart chakra is open and I'm embarrassed out of my mind. Because after you win the lottery, most people, nothing good happens. So during the athlete interview, the only thing that matters is how Naperville Park District are their brain. I ran this Naperville Park District algorithm until it stopped working. It's still working. Now you understand why I am the way I am on YouTube Live. An athlete interview, or have you guys seen where I just read a person's fortune and you're like, whoa, dude, how did you know it was single mom? The mom got a male figure involved in your development process. That male figure took you camping and now you're gay, right? Like, what? Or oh my God, you are rich. How did you get rid of your credit card debt? Your parents didn't pay for it. Like, how do you think I do fortune telling like this? And this is why I'm running the Naperville Park District model. When you're interviewing an athlete about future athletic success, I'm the guy who brought in not just the money. I need to bring the money in more, but this is actually more impactful than money. Because what is money? What is exercise? It's Naperville Park District, where Augie Garrido drops a fuck bomb on top of your head because you're not practicing with enough attention to detail as if it's a live game. That's why I laughed when he yelled at us, because I'm like, you should laugh. You should be dropping fuck bombs because it's cold as fuck out here and I don't want to be here. And you caught me. But you caught me where I could have been getting great. I could have been getting great. But that's why I'm laughing. And then that's when he was like, this motherfucker. That's why you can laugh. That's why it gets complicated to people that don't have a dad, because it's a language of time, space, time. Augie Garrido, Naperville partnership model. So Augie Garrido made us read this book called Psycho-Cybernetics. And maybe I haven't spent enough time talking about it, but I used that book to make $1 million before 12 calendar months. My parents thought I was dealing drugs. In fact, I didn't even tell my parents. They didn't even believe the bank balance because I didn't stop. I was an angry little moneymaker. I'm really only happy when I'm angry. That happy kind of angry. Athlete interviews, any kind of interview. Mark Cahodes asking me, yo, bro, are you even rich? This is how rich people ask other people to see if they're rich, which is who helped you get rich? Every person who's lying about being rich says, I did it myself. And I don't mean to laugh at you people that are lying. This is why I can always tell because I talk to the person, then I look at their bank balances. True story. If you can't spend $50 to learn exactly how much people keep in the bank, you're fucking retarded. Once you talk to people, see their balance, talk to people, see their balance is 72 bank accounts, that's real. You talk to people, you see their balance, pretty soon you figure out, are you stewarding the money, which is Jesus talk for you don't own your own money, therefore you aren't going to lose it. Where if you own all your money, you might lose it. Talking to people about athletic performance as a future indication of athletic performance. It's my Naperville Park District model. I even cared and loved you guys enough to give you a hashtag for it. It's mentor mentions per press interview. Do you remember when I'm saying John Teo, Tim Chang, Larry Chang? Do you remember when I was saying Ed Chen, Bruce Wang, Larry Chang? All those people are dependent upon Larry Chang because of the Naperville Park District model. So Tim Chang, his wife went to University of Arizona. Steve Kerr's wife also went to University of Arizona. Steve Kerr thought that Tim Chang was Larry Chang, not the other way around. But it's more funny when it is the other way around because then it's like Larry Chang isn't the first institution of Silicon Valley. John Teo, Tim Chang, Larry Chang, Steve Kerr, he's still the head coach of the Golden State Warriors. There is no other person aside from Tom Brady and Larry Chang who's better at mentor mentions per press interview. He's well, maybe Kobe Bryant too. Okay, Jordan. But basically, it's just one person. It's just one of the same person, which is Steve Kerr, Mike Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Tom Brady, Larry Chang. It's just one of the same person. Why? Because I'm not name dropping you Indian, Pakistani, Jugad loser. Ditto you Jewish people who screw me for money. I forgive you. You needed the money because you're a retard. You needed that money. You needed to screw me, which is Steve Kerr. Mentor mentions per press interview. When you ace that as a athlete, you now have a shot to trajectory upwards. Who's speaking of mentor mention per press interview? Why would you watch this and not like this? I don't get it. This is why some athletes become losers and bankrupt. Your coach doesn't get paid more money to yell at you. Your coach kind of doesn't want to even yell at you. You should be yelling at yourself. So sometimes when you see me angry, I'm actually yelling at myself because I know the mistake that you could have made, would have made, did make. It's hashtag MMPPI. Since we're on the mentor mention per press interview, and since we're on the Naperville Park District model, what's your aversion? What keeps you retarded in not using one hashtag? Is there like a hate for your father's father for not using a hashtag? Do you secretly want to just die? Or do you think that if you used a hashtag, it'd be like going to Stanford University and just making $2 million and it's all just magic sunshine and rainbows pooping out of your butt? Like why won't you do one? And why do you watch YouTube videos to never get financially better off? I mean, these are just questions because I've given people specific hashtags. Forget about hashtags. Don't forget about hashtags. Forget about hashtags. You'll probably just click away. Why won't you read one book where I'm telling you, like Augie Garita was telling me, Maxwell Maltz, Psycho-Cybernetics. The new version of that book is Limitless, quoting it by book, chapter, and verse. I mean, you're funny, but like, you're the worst kind. Is you've got a pretty high IQ for being black, right? And then you just refuse to bow to Larry Chang, first institution of Silicon Valley. Come on, that was funny. I thought Augie was your coach. Why is he making you read textbooks and not playbooks? You're a fucking retard, dude. That's why. Are you serious right now? Okay, so maybe you're not heterosexual. I didn't know you're gay. All are welcome here. You see, Phil Jackson, maybe you don't know about the Lakers. They're a professional basketball organization. They moved from Minnesota Lake to the Los Angeles Lakes, except that lake is the Pacific Ocean, you dumb fuck. So, Phil Jackson told Kobe Bryant, hey, read this book. I thought Augie Garita was your coach. Why is he making you read textbooks and not playbooks? Kobe Bryant, he wears number 24. He also wears number 8. You see, he reads books because he says this phrase, you dumb cunt, which is, the world, Larry, is my library. He didn't say the Larry part. I said, Kobe, I'm Larry. You said the world is your library. Remember when you said that? Well, I read that you said it. So, can you point me towards an advanced planner or an assistant? Because I want to ask you a question. Just ask. Just ask. The world's your library. Do you realize that your press conferences are really your bibliography? Bibliography? What? Yeah, because you have mentor mentions per press interview. Phil Jackson would give you reading assignments. This is the most retarded thing I've ever fucking read. This is your 50th video. I want to make you a moderator. What the fuck, dude? I thought Augie was your coach. I'm screenshotting this. This is the most retarded thing I've ever fucking read. I thought Augie was your baseball coach. Why is he making you read textbooks and not playbooks? Do you see the Naperville Park District? It works every time. You thought I was really angry at you. I'm not angry at you. I'm impressed. I'm impressed at how you can watch 60 Augie Garrido mentions and 600 book recommendations while watching 50 Larry Chang YouTube lives and be able to ask a question that basically says, I will die poor. What? I thought Augie was your coach. Why is he making you read textbooks? You must be one of those people who thinks that LeBron James doesn't read books because he's always reading page 1 of a book. Are you one of those people? Are you one of those people? This video, it got amazing. It got amazing. It got really amazing. Coaches, oh my God, you are retarded. Coaches write, WRITE. Oh my God. So this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Because back to back. Coaches RIGHT playbooks, not textbooks. Numb nuts. Are multiple people running your account? This is why you shouldn't do drugs and jump on a live stream. Because you've got 90 IQ points. Don't worry. That Korean girl, they're from a country, their IQ used to be 85. So there's hope for Africa. There's hope. Because, oh my God. Do you see how you went from one bad thing and then you doubled down? This is actually the opposite. Thank you for showing me the opposite of the Naperville Park District model. This has been the best video ever. I know I say that a lot, but you can kind of see why it's super true, right? You're not even digging a hole deeper. You're doing some pretty amazing stuff. Larry Cha Chang, Brian, how are you? Ni hao, says Savolovic. What's up? Rayan nailing the hashtag correctly. Nailing the hashtag. Hashtag CHA Chapter 11 CHA11 SXP. Who knows your money map better than you do? Who knows your money map better than you do? And remember, I made you a moderator after the most retarded thing I've ever read ever. They just keep getting better and better, right? I mean, I know I sound like I'm accurate, but it's counterintuitive because I've said it before, because this is literally the best video that I've ever done. It's the best video ever because I'm yelling at imaginary ghosts, because when you listen to the re-recording, to the tape, to the replay, you can't see the comments live time. So it just looks like I'm casting it. It's basically my audience catching strays, which is exactly Augie Garrido. And I quote, I thought Augie was your baseball coach. Why would he be assigning you textbooks? This is how you don't believe in reading. Like, you don't believe in a book. This is why you won't do one copy of Limitless. And then you keep saying playbooks, you dumb shit, where there are not just two types of books. Have you never played a sport? Oh my God. Oh my God. You just told me that you've never played a sport. I hate that I can speed read everybody. I hate that. I hate that I can speed read everybody. I don't want to know. This is the 6th time you've made me mod. Well, it's probably because I've fired you 11 times and blocked you twice. Why would you argue in a monologue? They just keep getting better and better, right, Ron? Why don't we just do what Ron does, which is look at his turnaround? He's a fucking motherfucking boomer who's running circles around you. 1, he's old. 2, he's talented because he adjusts his game. 3, He's starting to really get into my stupid prayers where I'm dropping F-bombs while talking to Jesus. There you go. I called it. Zero sports. Zero sports. Also, don't text me. I don't want to know you. Thank you for your attention, though, but don't email me. I don't want to know you. I don't want to know. Because how could you think that how could you this is why the Naperville Park District is so foreign to people, because the sport thing throws people a curveball. The curveball, what it does is it alters its trajectory because of a spin rate. It's unexpected. It looks like it's a straight ball, but then it curves. So this is why Quora was invented, because gossiping about the Naperville Park District model, people couldn't go right to the source code, which is, hey, Larry, how did you teach at Stanford? Did you have to lick on somebody's vagina to teach at Stanford? I'm like, that's weird. No, I just ran the Naperville Park District model. Naperville Park District model at Stanford. Rolling here. So I'm at Stanford. I'm not enrolled at Stanford. I'm in the Stanford community. This is how Silicon Valley is wired. Stanford is the university that doubles as a headquarters depending on their level of wokeness, depending on their inclusivity, depending on whether or not Stanford wants to become a better business school, because Wharton and Stanford are a mile ahead. Ditto the engineering school. The engineering school was not always number one, number two. Stanford, it used to not be great. Stanford, it's rising now. So I'm at Stanford and I'm bored because you're in Palo fucking Alto. I do what I would have done at the University of Illinois, which is I sign up for season tickets. Season tickets for football is 6 or 7 games. Yeah. Season ticket for basketball, that's perfect. It's 2 hours. It's super easy to get to campus. It's basically, Maples Pavilion is basically at the end of University Avenue. You could walk. You could walk there. You could walk there from anywhere. The train drops off, like it's right there. It's so easy. I decided to sign up for Stanford season tickets for basketball. So I go to basketball, I cheer. How do I cheer? I think to myself, what would Augie Garrido say? Which is nothing that complicated, just positive stuff. And then when the team's losing, cheer anyway, but don't go negative, right? I'm at a mixer. So when you're a season ticket holder, they host a party for other season ticket holders to go to. Very Naperville Park Districty. Oh, we're doing an end of summer barbecue. Oh, we're gonna go to the last fling. Oh, we're gonna blah blah blah. It's basically a reason for, it's just an excuse for people to party. So this person named Jennifer comes over and is like, "You look like you can still play basketball." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." She goes, "No, no, no. Do you still play basketball?" I'm like, "Yeah, at PAC, where me, Tom Brady, and Silicon Valley executives." It's like a really, 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 really nice health club with basketball. So I'm like, "Yeah, I play basketball." And then she's like, "Kind of where or kind of how often?" I'm like, "I don't know, every day, every other day, blah, blah, blah." She goes, "Oh my God, you'd be perfect." I'm like, perfect for what? She goes, we've been looking for people to let use our gym, so you'd be perfect. So you can just play at our gym. I'm like, what do you mean play in our gym? She's like, you can just use our gym to play in. I'm like, what? She's like, no, no, you can like play. I'm like, well, so I didn't go to undergrad here, and this is what I would have to say all the time. I look I look Stanford, like when you actually type in Stanford guy, my face comes up. So I'd always have to tell people, hey, 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 I didn't go to Stanford. I went to the University of Illinois. And after I said University of Illinois, everybody'd be like, even better. I'm like, what? Why is that even better? I'm like, I didn't go to school here. So she's like, oh, even better. You can just invite 20 of your closest friends and you can just play. There's an episode of Silicon Valley that made fun of this exact dynamic. This is why Silicon Valley is amazing, because Austin's trying to do it, but UT sucks. Stanford literally asked me if I wanted to invite 20 people to play on the floor of the basketball stadium. Silicon Valley, HBO, the Mike Judge TV show, did exactly the same episode with Ed Chen, Bruce Wang, Larry Chang. I'm like, really? Does it cost money? She's like, no. Bob Bowlesby loves you, the athletic director, and like, just, leave it clean. I am running Tuesday nights at Stanford for a 3-hour pickup basketball. This building that we played basketball in at 641 campus, it was an aquarium. It was better than any pro facility. It's all glass. The building is $80 million. It's office buildings all the way around it. It's like offices all the way around it. And you're looking down on the basketball floor. And the basketball floor it's very springy. It's super high quality. It's not like one of those Lifetime Fitness where they have cement and then they put a wood floor on top of the cement. No bueno. No bueno. I understand why Lifetime does it that way, because it's cheap, because it looks like it's the same thing. But when there's wood on top of concrete, basically you're playing on concrete. It's not a springy floor. It's not a basketball floor. That's why if you can't dunk, something's wrong with you. So we get to play on Tuesdays on the floor. And then they have to apologize for, during season, we can't let you play. I'm like, totally fine. Totally fine that we're not playing. We're probably going to go to the game, right? The access that Bob Bowlesby gave for, do you want to hang out with the team? Hey, do you want to travel with the team? Like, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then the more things that they gave me, which is access and invitations, the more I would run the Naperville Park District model, where I'd be like, oh my God, thank you. Next year, I understand if you don't have to invite me, but this year I'm going to say yes. And I'm not even going to say no one time and then wait for you to be like, are you sure? I'm like, no, 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 I want to say yes. Like, I'm just going to say yes the first time because, like, I give a fuck. It's okay if you don't invite me next year. Via the Naperville Park District model, Stanford opened up. So I'm playing basketball because we play basketball on the floor, Maples and 641 campus. This kid comes over to me. He goes, you look like you're successful. I'm like, okay. He's like, I'm looking for an internship. I'm like, I read the NCAA rules. You're not allowed to give an athlete a job. These are the NCAA rules. Students couldn't even run the Naperville Park District model. Students couldn't even teach swim class as a swimmer. They couldn't teach tennis as a baseball player. Basically, NCAA rules, you couldn't make money using your own name. He goes, hey, I'm a no name player. I looked him up, baller. He goes, I'm looking for an internship. Can you give me one, or do you have any ideas? And I was like, I can't give you one, but if I were an athlete, this is how I would plan for an eventual graduation from athletics. And look at the attention span here, where you think that it doesn't apply to you. I caught you. You are doing a good job because you're paying attention. But notice how the room changed, where you thought, oh, doesn't apply to me. This most definitively does apply to you. This is transitioning the Naperville Park District model to how to help any unemployed person get 5 job offers. Because when you're trying to get one internship, you're really trying to get 5 job offers for an internship. Because he wanted an internship. So the methodology was how to call CEOs on the phone, leave them a voicemail message in order to get an internship. Ron, I love that. I love that. I want to get an internship, Larry. Can you help me out? The idea is to use a Jedi tool, a tool that other people don't use. The idea is to not delegate VP of sales work. The idea is to do a little bit of tech sales. That was my entree into teaching eventually at Stanford, is honing in on how do you get your first job? Because that's also the Naperville Park District. I didn't go from zero to baseball director at Urbana. I went in my brain, the traditional route of going from unemployed to top of the food chain, because I was willing to talk to people who are beginners. And so if you've never tried to sell one thing, this is where I tell you that's where the beginning begins at, is getting a stranger to hand over money. There is no other technique that I know better than to get a person who's rich or a CEO to pay us only when we solve a problem. Braun Power Cord 7030458, or something where we focus on solving a problem. And as soon as you say, "Oh, but my passion is rubber ducks and making masks, and I like graham crackers," and then I would say, "I don't care. I don't give a fuck." And, "Oh, that's cool, but I also don't give a fuck." But you can tell I give lots of fucks. Look at how enthusiastic I am in such a small room with such little gratitude, right? 0.25 thank yous. Oh, is that the Naperville Park District? This video bookends nicely.